The stars watched silently as the Vexari ship approached Earth. The vessel carried Princess Neva of the Vexari Empire, her silver skin glimmering under the artificial lights. Her long white hair flowed down her back like a waterfall of moonlight. She stood tall despite her circumstances. Neva had been declared infertile by the royal physicians. A princess who could not continue the bloodline was considered worthless in Vexari culture. The emperor, her father, had decided to send her to Earth as a diplomatic gift to the humans. The alliance between their species was new and fragile. Kate Adams worked at the Human-Alien Cooperation Center in Denver. She specialized in alien biology and culture. When she received word that she would be hosting a Vexari princess, she prepared her modest home with care. The princess arrived on a rainy Tuesday morning. 2 tall Vexari guards escorted her to Kate. They handed over a document that essentially transferred ownership of Neva to the human government. Kate read it with growing horror. "Do you understand what this means?" Kate asked the princess when they were alone in the car. Neva nodded. "I am no longer of value to my people. I cannot bear children, so I am to serve as a living symbol of cooperation between our worlds." Kate gripped the steering wheel tighter. "This is not how we do things on Earth. You are a person, not property." The car stopped at a red light. Neva stared out the window at the humans walking past. Some pointed at the car, recognizing the Vexari insignia on its side. Neva was used to being stared at, but not like this. Not as a curiosity. "Your home is different than I expected," Neva said when they arrived at Kate's house. It was a small wooden structure with a garden surrounding it. The Vexari lived in metallic towers that reached into the clouds. "It's not much, but it's comfortable," Kate said, leading Neva inside. "I hope you'll feel at home here." Neva stepped carefully through the door, ducking slightly. Her 7-foot frame made human dwellings feel small. She looked around the living room with interest. Soft furniture, fabric walls with pictures, plants growing indoors. These were all strange to her. "I have prepared a room for you," Kate said, showing Neva to a bedroom. With a large bed, she had reinforced it to hold the princess's dense body. The window looked out onto a small yard with trees. "Thank you for your hospitality," Neva said formally. "I will try to be a good guest." That first night, Neva sat by the window, watching the moon rise. The sky looked different from Earth. The stars were in the same places, but the atmosphere made them twinkle in a way they never did from a Vexari ship. She wondered if she would ever see her homeworld again. Neva's first weeks on Earth were filled with new experiences. Kate took her shopping for human clothes that would fit her tall frame. People stared, but Kate ignored them, focusing on finding things Neva liked. The princess was drawn to soft fabrics and bright colors, so unlike the metallic uniforms of her people, Kate also introduced Neva to human food. The princess was cautious at first. The Vexari diet consisted mainly of synthesized nutrients, but soon, Neva discovered she loved sweet things, especially chocolate. Her silver face lit up the first time she tasted ice cream. Kate took notes on everything. It was part of her job to study Vexari biology and behavior, but she found herself enjoying Neva's company. The princess was intelligent and eager to learn, despite her circumstances. 1 month after her arrival, Neva had her first medical examination at the center. Lily Patel, the human doctor assigned to her case, was kind and patient, explaining every step. "You seem to be adapting well to Earth's atmosphere and gravity," Lily said, reviewing the results. "Your body is processing our food without problems. Good news, I suppose," Neva said. She sat stiffly on the examination table, her hands folded in her lap. "Is there something bothering you physically?" Lily asked, noticing Neva's discomfort. "No," Neva said. "I was thinking about my diagnosis. My infertility. It was the reason I was sent away." Lily looked thoughtful. "Have our doctors confirmed this diagnosis?" "No," Neva said. "There seemed no point. The royal physicians are never wrong. Perhaps we should run our own tests," Lily suggested. "Human and Vexari biology are different, but we've learned a lot about your people's physiology." Neva considered this. It would change nothing, but curiosity stirred within her. What if the physicians had been mistaken? What if there was nothing wrong with her but hope was dangerous? She had accepted her fate. I will think about it. She told Lily. Kate noticed changes in Neva as the seasons changed. The princess spent more time outside watching leaves turn gold and red. She collected fallen leaves, pressing them between the pages of books Kate had given her. The first snow fascinated her. Neva stood in the backyard, her face turned upward, as flakes melted against her warm, silver skin. She laughed, a sound Kate had never heard from her before. I had only seen images of this, she told Kate. It falls so softly. Kate taught Neva about human customs and holidays. They carved pumpkins for Halloween, and Neva delighted in the strangeness of it. She helped Kate bake cookies for Thanksgiving and set the table for guests from the Center A's. Winter deepened, Neva began to open up more. She told Kate about her childhood in the royal palace, always alone, always being prepared for her future role as a bride to strengthen political alliances. When the physicians declared her infertile, her father could not look at her. I was raised to be a vessel for the next generation, she told Kate one evening as they sat by the fireplace. Nothing more. When I could not fulfill that purpose, I became nothing. You are much more than that, Kate said. Her hand almost reached for Neva's but stopped short. The center had strict rules about personal boundaries with alien visitors. But something about Neva made Kate want to comfort her. Neva smiled slightly. You humans see things differently. This is why I find Earth interesting. Kate invited Neva to help with her research at the center. The princess had extensive knowledge of Vexari culture and technology knowledge that had never been shared with humans before. Together they made breakthroughs in understanding Vexari language and social structures. 6 months passed. Neva no longer felt like a visitor. She had her routines, her favorite places in the city. Kate had become more than a host. She was a friend, perhaps the first real friend Neva had ever had. But at night, Neva still looked at the stars, still felt the pull of her homeworld, still wondered about the life that had been taken from her because of one medical diagnosis. The transport descended toward the ocean. Kate watched through a small window as the water grew closer. There was nothing but blue in every direction. We're going underwater, Susan explained as the craft began to lower itself into the waves. The research station is 500 feet below the surface. It's off all official records. The Aqua Deep Research Station had been built for studying marine life, but had been abandoned when funding ran out. Susan had connections from her military days and had arranged for the facility to be reactivated secretly. The station appeared out of the murky depths, a collection of interconnected pods and domes. Lights glowed from porthole windows, illuminating the surrounding water. The transport docked at an underwater bay where a small team waited. Lily was already there, having been transported earlier. She greeted them with obvious relief. I was worried you wouldn't make it, she said. The Vexari attacked the mountain facility just after you left. Is anyone hurt? Kate asked. No, Susan's team got everyone out. She glanced at Susan with admiration. But the Vexari know we're protecting Neva now. They'll keep searching. The station was smaller than the mountain facility, but well equipped. Kate helped Neva settle into a room with a large window looking out into the ocean. The princess spent hours watching fish and other marine creatures swim past. It's like another world, she said, pressing a hand against the thick glass. So many life forms, so different from each other, yet sharing the same home. Kate nodded. It's beautiful, isn't it? Neva turned to look at her. I understand now why humans fight so hard to protect their world. There is so much life here, so much variety. The Vexari see only resources to be used. You see wonders to be preserved. As Neva's pregnancy advanced, Lily monitored her closely. The baby grew faster than a human fetus would, but showed no signs of distress. Scans revealed a unique blend of human and Vexari features. The child has your bone structure, Lily told Neva, but the skin appears to be adaptive, like it can change between human and Vexari characteristics. Neva smiled at this news, placing a hand on her rounded belly. My people value purity, she said. The idea of a hybrid child would horrify them, but I find it beautiful. This child will belong to both worlds. Susan maintained tight security around the station. A small team of trusted guards patrolled constantly. Cameras monitored the surrounding waters. Alert systems were tested daily. No one entered or left without Susan's knowledge. Kate found herself spending more time with Susan as they worked together to keep Neva safe. They would meet late at night, when the princess was asleep, to review security logs and plan for contingencies. "You never talk about your life before the center," Kate said one night. They sat in the station's control room, the blue glow of monitors illuminating their faces. Susan was silent for a moment. "There isn't much to tell," she finally said. "I was military special operations. I saw things, I did things. Eventually I wanted to protect people instead. You're good at it," Kate said, her hand briefly touching Susan's arm. Susan smiled. "Thanks. You're not so bad yourself." A xenobiologist turned. "Bodyguard, I just want her to be safe," Kate admitted. "And happy. She deserves that after everything she's been through." Susan's expression softened. "She's lucky to have you. We both are." Their conversation was interrupted by an alert from the surface. An unidentified submersible had been detected 3 miles out and closing. Susan immediately activated security protocols. "Kate, go to Neva," she ordered. "Stay in the safe room until I give the all clear." The safe room was at the center of the station, reinforced walls and a separate oxygen supply. Kate found Neva already awake, sitting on the edge of her bed. "More Vexari?" she asked, seeing Kate's expression. "We don't know yet," Kate said. "But Susan is taking precautions." Neva nodded, placing a protective hand over her stomach. "I feel the baby moving more tonight," she said, almost as if it senses the danger in the control room. Susan watched the approaching vessel on the monitors. "It doesn't match Vexari design," she muttered to Lily, who stood beside her. "But that doesn't mean anything. They could be using human technology to throw us off. Should we prepare for evacuation?" Lily asked. "Not yet," Susan said. "We have defenses. Let's see what they do first." The vessel stopped half a mile from the station, hanging motionless in the water. For hours it made no move, either to approach or retreat. What are they waiting for? Lily wondered. A signal. Susan realized suddenly, just as alarms blared throughout the station. A second vessel had approached from the opposite direction and was already attaching to one of the outer docking bays. Susan grabbed her weapon and ran toward the breach. Lily hurried to the safe room to warn Kate and Neva. Security personnel converged on the docking bay, weapons ready. The outer door of the airlock opened. 4 figures in diving gear stepped through. When they removed their helmets, they revealed human, not Vexari faces. "Stand down," Susan ordered her team when she recognized the lead figure. "Paul Green, the xenobiologist. What are you doing here?" she demanded. "How did you find us?" "Mary sent me," Paul explained. "We intercepted a Vexari transmission. They know about this place. They're coming in force. I'm here to help." "How do we know we can trust you?" Susan asked her. "Weapons still ready." Paul reached slowly into his pocket and pulled out a data chip. "This contains plans for the Vexari attack. I risked my career to get this information. Isn't all I brought." He gestured to his companions. "Equipment to mask your location and emergency transport if needed." Susan studied him for a long moment, then lowered her weapon. "Let's see what you've got in the safe room." Lily explained the situation to Kate and Neva. "This Paul Green is the father?" Kate asked. "Does he know?" "Yes," Lily said. "He's known since we ran the DNA tests. He's been working with Mary to gather intelligence on Vexari movements." Neva listened to this, her expression unreadable. Finally, she spoke. "I wish to see him." Kate was surprised. "Are you sure?" "Yes," Neva said. "He should know his child, has risked much to help us." Paul entered the safe room cautiously. His eyes immediately went to Neva's pregnant form. He was a tall man with dark hair and gentle eyes. "Princess," he said with a slight bow. "I apologize for the circumstances of our reunion." Neva studied him. "They tell me you are the father of my child," she said directly. Paul nodded. "I am, according to the tests." He hesitated, then added, I want you to know, I expect nothing. I make no claim on the child. I only wish to help keep you both safe. Something in Neva's posture relaxed. Thank you for your honesty, she said, and for your help. The Vexari attack came 3 days later. A fleet of vessels surrounded the station. Susan's team had prepared using Paul's information. They activated the masking technology, creating false signatures to confuse the Vexari scanners. We can't stay here, Paul warned as they watched the Vexari search pattern on the monitors. The mask won't fool them forever. Where can we go? Kate asked. This station was supposed to be our last resort. I have an idea, Paul said. Looking at Susan, he added, but you're not going to like it. One morning, Neva woke feeling strange. Her body ached in ways she had never experienced before. Her skin felt hot to the touch, and there was a strange fluttering sensation in her abdomen. She made her way to the kitchen where Kate was preparing. Breakfast, are you okay? Kate asked, immediately noticing the change in Neva's appearance. The princess's silver skin had a faint blue tinge to it. I feel unwell, Neva admitted, leaning against the doorframe. My body is not functioning normally. Kate put down the spatula and approached her, touching a hand to Neva's forehead. You're burning up. We need to get you to the center right away. The ride to the medical facility was tense. Neva's condition worsened. Her breathing became labored, and the blue tinge spread across her skin. Kate called ahead, and Lily was waiting for them when they arrived. Bring her straight to examination room 3. Lily instructed, leading them through the center. Several humans and aliens stopped to watch as Kate helped Neva down the hallway. In the examination room, Lily ran a series of tests. She took blood samples and scanned Neva's body while Kate waited anxiously. The princess lay on the table, her eyes closed against the bright lights. Finally, Lily emerged from the adjacent lab where she had been analyzing the results. Her expression was one of disbelief. Kate, I need to speak with you privately, she said. What is it? Kate asked, following Lily into the hallway. Is she sick? Is it serious? Lily shook her head slowly. She's not sick, she's pregnant. Impossible, Kate said. Neva was declared infertile by the royal physicians. Lily showed Kate the scans. Look at this. The fetus has both Vexari and human DNA. It seems the Vexari definition of fertility only applies to reproduction with their own kind. Kate stared at the images on the tablet, the tiny form clearly visible within Neva. But how? Who, that's the question, isn't it? Lily said. She hasn't been with anyone since arriving on Earth. Has she? No, Kate said. She barely leaves my sight except... She stopped remembering the center's annual gala 3 months ago. Neva had danced with several humans, including... We need to run more tests, Lily said. But based on the DNA profile, I already have a suspicion. When they told Neva, she touched her stomach with trembling fingers. A child, she whispered. My father was wrong. Kate sat beside her. We need to know Neva. Who could be the father? Neva's silver eyes widened with realization. There was a man at the celebration. The one with the kind eyes. He danced with me, Paul Green. Kate said he works in xenobiology. We only danced. Neva said nothing more. Lily checked her notes. Vexari reproduction doesn't work like humans, she explained. Looking at these readings, it seems skin contact might be enough if the genetic patterns are compatible. It would explain why Vexari can't reproduce with each other, unless carefully matched by physicians, but can apparently reproduce with compatible humans through minimal contact. The news spread quickly through the center, despite attempts at secrecy. Within days, it reached the Vexari embassy. The ambassador demanded a meeting with center officials. The child is imperial property. Ambassador Zorn declared, his metallic voice echoed in the conference room. Princess Neva and her offspring belong to the Empire. We demand their immediate return. Kate sat beside Neva during this meeting, watching the princess's face remain carefully blank. The center's director, Mary Coleman, responded firmly. Princess, Neva is here under diplomatic agreement, she said. But that agreement says nothing about children or offspring. The princess herself has requested asylum, which under our laws extends to her unborn child. The ambassador's silver eyes narrowed. This matter will be brought to the Emperor. He threatened. Let him come. Mary said, We follow our laws, not yours. That night, Kate found Neva packing her few belongings. What are you doing? Kate asked from the doorway. I must leave. Neva said, not looking up. My father will send retrieval teams when they learn I am fertile with a human child. They will take me back for study. They will take my baby. Kate stepped into the room, closing the door behind her. We won't let that happen, she promised. The center is already making arrangements for your protection. You and your baby will be safe. Neva looked up, her eyes shimmering with unshed tears. Your people would do this for me. Yes, Kate said without hesitation. You're not a diplomatic gift. Neva, you're a person. The Vexari Empire formally demanded Neva's return the following week. Mary called Kate to her office to discuss the situation. The government is backing our position, Mary explained, but the Vexari are threatening to cut all diplomatic ties. If this escalates, it could affect relations between our species for generations. What does Neva want? Kate asked. That's what matters. She wants to keep her child, Mary said, and she wants to stay on Earth. The question is, how do we protect her? The Vexari have resources and they're not known for their subtlety. Mary introduced Kate to Susan Weber, a security specialist with experience protecting high-risk individuals. Susan was tall, with short brown hair and alert eyes that missed nothing. I've been briefed on the situation. She said we need to move the princess to a secure location immediately. Within hours, Neva was relocated to a mountain facility designed to house alien visitors requiring special protection. Kate went with her, unwilling. To leave Neva alone in such circumstances, the facility was comfortable but isolated. The princess could no longer go outside freely. Susan established strict security protocols. The facility's location was classified. Only essential personnel had access. Neva's pregnancy progressed faster than a human one. Within 3 months, her abdomen had grown visibly. Kate and Susan worked closely together to ensure Neva's safety and comfort. They set up a medical suite where Lily could monitor the pregnancy. They arranged for proper nutrition and exercise. They created a garden room where Neva could experience something like being outdoors. In the quiet evenings when Neva rested, Kate and Susan would sit together reviewing security measures, or simply talking. Susan had traveled widely before joining the center. She told Kate about distant places she had seen. Kate shared her research on alien cultures. I never expected to be hiding in the mountains protecting an alien princess, Susan said one night. They sat in the facility's small kitchen sharing a pot of tea. I never expected to become friends with one. Kate replied. Then she added, looking at Neva. Now it's hard to remember she's not human. Sometimes I forget she's a princess. Susan smiled. I know what you mean. It's just Neva now. A person, not a title. The calm was shattered when sensors detected an unidentified craft approaching the mountains. Kate was awakened by alarms. Susan burst into her room, already dressed in tactical gear. Get Neva, she ordered. We have to move now. Kate hurried to the princess's room. Neva was sitting on the edge of her bed, her hands protectively around her swollen belly. They found us, she said. Her voice was calm, but her eyes showed fear. We have a backup plan, Susan assured them as she led them through a hidden passage to an underground hangar. A transport was waiting, engines already humming. Where are we going? Neva asked as Susan helped her aboard. Somewhere they'll never think to look, Susan said. The plan was dangerous. Susan objected strongly, but Paul insisted it was their only option. We hide in plain sight, he explained in the briefing room. Everyone gathered around a table with maps spread across it. We go to Luna City. Luna City, the human settlement on the moon, Kate said in disbelief. The Vexari would look there first. Exactly, Paul said, which is why they already have. They searched Luna City 2 weeks ago and found nothing. They won't expect us to go there now. But how do we get there? Susan asked. The Vexari control orbital traffic. We don't go up, Paul explained, showing them a schematic. We go sideways. The plan involved using an experimental teleportation system developed at the center. but never approved for human use. The system could transport matter to preset coordinates, including the center's small research outpost in Luna City. It's too risky for Neva. Susan argued. She's in the final stage of pregnancy. The stress could harm her or the baby. I will do it, Neva said firmly. Everyone turned to look at her standing in the doorway. Her belly was now very large, her silver skin stretched tight over it. I have listened to your discussion. This plan offers the best chance for my child. Lily shook her head. I can't approve this. Medically, the teleportation system hasn't been tested on pregnant humans, let alone pregnant Vexari. The energy field could disrupt the baby's development. Paul looked thoughtful. What about a stasis field? He suggested we could place Neva in stasis. During transport that would shield both her and the baby, it might work. Lily conceded reluctantly. But we'd need a portable stasis unit. The station doesn't have one. I brought one, Paul said. That's what was in the large container we transported here. It was meant for emergency medical evacuation. The preparations moved quickly. The Vexari vessels were drawing closer to the station, their search pattern tightening. Susan's team loaded essential supplies and equipment. Paul programmed the teleportation device while Lily prepared Neva for stasis. Kate stayed with Neva during these preparations, holding her hand as Lily explained the procedure. You'll feel cold, then nothing, the doctor said. The stasis will suspend all your biological functions, including the pregnancy. Once we reach Luna City, we'll revive you immediately. Neva nodded, her face calm despite the danger. Will my child be affected? The stasis should protect the baby, Lily assured her. But I won't lie. There are risks. I understand, Neva said. She turned to Kate. Promise you'll be there when I wake. Always, Kate said, squeezing her hand. The stasis chamber was like a clear coffin. Neva lay inside her silver skin, contrasting with the white padding. Lily activated the system and a blue field surrounded the princess. Her breathing slowed, then seemed to stop entirely. Her eyes remained open but unblinking. She's stable, Lily confirmed, checking the monitors. The baby's life signs are also stable. But suspended. Paul connected the stasis chamber to the teleportation device. Susan and her team stood guard, watching the station's sensors. The Vexari vessels were now less than a mile away. We need to move now, Paul said. The teleporter can only take 4 at a time, plus the stasis chamber. First, group will be Neva, Lily, Kate, and myself. Susan will coordinate the rest of the evacuations. Susan nodded, her expression tight. Be careful, she told them. Her eyes met Kate's briefly. I'll see you on the moon. The teleportation was like being torn apart and reassembled. Kate felt a moment of searing pain, then nothing. Then awareness returned. She was lying on a metal floor in a small room. The lights were dim, emergency power only. Paul and Lily were beside her, both unconscious but breathing. The stasis chamber. Kate pushed herself up, looking around frantically. It stood against the wall, its light still active. Neva floated inside, still suspended. Kate checked the chamber's readouts. Everything seemed normal, but they needed to revive Neva soon. The stasis had a limited duration. Kate shook Paul and Lily awake. We made it, she told them. But where exactly are we? Paul looked around. This isn't the main Luna City outpost, he said, frowning. It's the old storage facility. It was the backup coordinates. Why did we come here instead of the main outpost? Lily asked, checking her medical bag to ensure everything had arrived. The primary coordinates must have been compromised. Paul said he checked a small device on his wrist. The others haven't arrived. They must have been redirected too. Or the Vexari discovered the plan. Kate finished. His silence confirmed her fear. We need to establish communications, Paul said. Find out what happened to Susan and the others. The storage facility had basic emergency equipment, including a communication terminal. Paul worked to activate it while Lily monitored Neva's condition. The stasis is starting to destabilize, she warned. I need to bring her out soon. Wait, Paul said. If the Vexari are in Luna City, they might detect the energy surge when we deactivate the stasis field. We don't have a choice, Lily argued, checking the readouts. The chamber was designed for short transports. If we leave her too long, there could be complications with the baby before they could decide. The communication terminal activated. A message scrolled across the screen. Remain in place. Vexari patrols in sector will send extraction team at 0200. Susan. Paul checked his watch. That's 4 hours from now. Can Neva stay in stasis that long? Kate asked Lily. The doctor bit her lip. It's pushing the safety limits, but if we revive her and have to move quickly, it could trigger labor. Then we wait. Kate decided. Let's secure this facility as best we can. They found emergency rations and water. Paul located a security panel and activated the facility's minimal defenses, motion sensors on the outer doors, emergency shields on the windows. Kate stayed beside Neva's stasis chamber, watching the princess's still form. 3 hours passed, with no further communication. The facility was silent except for the hum of life support systems. Then the motion sensors triggered. Someone's outside. Paul said. Checking the security panel, Kate moved to the window, carefully peering through the shield. A figure in a lunar surface suit was approaching the airlock. The suit had center markings, but Kate remained cautious. Could be Vexari in stolen gear. She said. Paul activated the external cameras, zooming in on the figure. The person held up something to the camera. A familiar badge. It's Mary, Paul said in surprise, the center director. Mary Coleman entered the facility after going through decontamination. She removed her helmet, revealing her face lined with exhaustion. The situation has escalated, she told them. Without preamble, the Vexari attacked our orbital platforms. The teleportation network is down. Susan and her team were captured. What? Kate gasped. What will happen to them? They'll be interrogated, Mary said grimly. But Susan is trained for that. She won't reveal your location. What about the others? Lily asked. Most made it to the main Luna City facility, Mary said. But the Vexari have the city under blockade. No ships in or out, then we're trapped. Kate said. Not quite, Mary replied. I've been negotiating with the Vexari ambassador. We may have a solution. Her plan surprised them all. The Emperor himself was coming to Luna City to personally handle the situation. Mary had proposed a meeting. You want to hand Neva over to them, Kate said angrily after hearing. The plan never, not hand her over. Mary corrected. Show them the truth. The Vexari believe Neva was kidnapped. They don't know she's pregnant with a hybrid child. The Emperor needs to see for himself what this means. It's too dangerous. Paul argued. What, if he simply takes her and the baby? He can't. Mary said. The Luna City Accords prevent forced removal of any individual claiming asylum. The Emperor must abide by those laws or risk losing all trading rights with Earth. What does Neva want? Lily asked. We should wake her and ask her opinion. Lily began the process of reviving Neva. The stasis field flickered, then dissolved. The princess took a deep breath, her eyes blinking slowly. She looked around, disoriented. Kate. We made it, she asked, her voice weak. Yes, Kate said, holding her hand. We're on the moon. But there are complications. They explained the situation to Neva. The princess listened carefully, her hand resting on her swollen belly. I will meet with my father, she said finally. He should see what his actions have created. Are you sure? Kate asked. It could be dangerous. Neva smiled faintly. I am a princess of the Vexari Empire. I was raised to face danger with dignity. She winced suddenly, her face contorting in pain. What is it? Lily asked. Moving quickly to her side, the baby. Neva gasped. It comes. Lily rushed to prepare the limited medical equipment they had. The storage facility was not designed for births, especially not a hybrid Vexari human birth. Paul helped move Neva to a clear area, while Kate held her hand. The contractions came quickly. Neva gripped Kate's hand with surprising strength, her silver skin taking on a blue glow as her body prepared for birth. The baby is coming fast, Lily said, after checking Neva. Too fast. We need more supplies. Mary stepped forward. What do you need? Medical, Gel thermal regulators and a sonic sterilizer, Lily listed. We need to create a clean environment. I'll get them from my shuttle, Mary said. She hurried back to the airlock, pulling her helmet on. Neva cried out as another contraction hit. Kate wiped her forehead with a damp cloth. You're doing great, she encouraged her. Just breathe like Lily showed you. The princess's silver eyes locked onto Kate's. I am afraid, she admitted. I never thought I would experience this. My people told me I was broken. You're not broken, Kate assured her. You're amazing. And so is your baby. Mary returned with the supplies. Lily worked quickly, creating a sterile field around Neva. The princess's contractions were now continuous, her silver body pulsing with blue light. I can see the head, Lily announced. The baby is crowning. Neva gave a final push and the child slipped into Lily's waiting hands. The baby did not cry, but instead made a musical humming sound. Its skin shifted between human pink and Vexari silver in waves. Of color, it's a girl, Lily said, wrapping the infant in a special thermal blanket. She's perfect. She placed the baby on Neva's chest. The princess's eyes filled with tears as she looked at her daughter. The infant's eyes opened, revealing irises that swirled with blue and purple. She has the royal birthmark, Neva whispered, pointing to a crescent shape behind the baby's ear. What will you name her? Kate asked softly. Maya. Neva said the human word for miracle in my language. The moment of peace was interrupted by an alert from the security system. Paul checked the panel. We have multiple contacts approaching, he warned. At least 10, maybe more. Mary moved to the communication terminal. It's time, she said, signaling the approaching figures. We need to prepare for the meeting. Neva struggled to sit up. I need to be standing, she insisted. A Vexari princess does not greet the emperor from a bed, Kate, and Lily helped Neva to her feet. The princess was weak from childbirth, but determined. She held. Maya closed the baby, still humming softly. The airlock cycled open. A tall figure in elaborate armor stepped through, followed by guards in formation. The emperor of the Vexari, his chrome skin gleaming even in the dim light of the facility. He removed his helmet, revealing features similar to Neva's but harder, more angular. His eyes were solid silver without pupils. Father, Neva said. Formally. Daughter, the emperor responded, his voice like metal scraping metal. You have caused quite a disturbance. The guards moved to surround Neva, but Mary stepped between them. Your Majesty, she said, this is neutral territory under the Luna City Accords. You agreed to peaceful discussion. The emperor's silver gaze shifted to Mary. I agreed to retrieve my property. Property, Mary corrected. Your daughter who has requested asylum, and now she offered something none of us expected. The emperor noticed the bundle in Neva's arms for the first time. What is this? He demanded. Neva held the baby so he could see. I present to you the future of both our worlds, father. My daughter Maya. The emperor stared at the infant. His stern expression faltered as Maya reached out a tiny hand. Her skin shifted to match his. Exactly the royal chrome color. The baby hummed a note that resonated with the emperor's armor, making it vibrate slightly. Impossible, he murmured. Stepping closer. Not impossible. Neva said. Just unexpected. The humans did not see me as broken. They saw me as different. Their science, their compassion, their love made this possible. The emperor touched Maya's cheek with one armored finger. The baby grasped it, her tiny hand not even wrapping all the way around. The emperor's expression softened, something no human had ever witnessed before. The physicians were wrong, he said. She is of royal blood. Indeed, the most royal of all. A child of two worlds, Your Majesty, Mary said carefully. Princess Neva has requested asylum on Earth for herself and her child. What is your response? The emperor was silent for a long moment, his eyes never leaving Maya. Finally he spoke. My grandchild is heir to the Vexari throne. By our most ancient laws, the line of succession cannot be broken. Kate stepped forward. Does that mean you're taking them? She asked, her voice tense. The Emperor looked at her. No human. The heir must be raised with knowledge of both her heritages, both her worlds. He turned back to Neva. You may remain on Earth, daughter, but the child must receive proper education in our ways when the time comes. Understand, Father, Neva said, relief evident in her voice. A new treaty was drafted there in that small storage facility on the moon. The Emperor himself signed it, recognizing Maya as heir to the Vexari throne, but allowing her to remain on Earth, with her mother. The treaty also acknowledged that Vexarian humans could reproduce, creating a new hybrid species that might someday bridge the gap between their worlds. The blockade of Luna City was lifted. Susan and her team were released. Paul was recognized as Maya's father. With all rights that entailed, Mary returned to Earth to announce the historic agreement. Kate, Susan, and Neva returned to Earth with Maya. The center provided a new home for them, a secure compound where Maya could grow up safely. The three women created a family unlike any seen before on Earth, or Vexari. Paul visited often, teaching Maya about human science. While Neva taught her the ways of the Vexari royal court, the Emperor himself visited once a year to observe his grandchild's development. Each time he brought gifts of Vexari technology and knowledge. Maya grew quickly, showing abilities from both species. She could change her skin color like the Vexari and had human emotional depth. Her mind grasped concepts at an astonishing rate. By age 5, she spoke both languages fluently and had begun developing her own theories about how the two species could work together. On her 10th birthday, representatives from both worlds gathered to celebrate. Maya stood before them, her skin shifting between silver and human tan as she spoke. I am neither fully Vexari nor fully human, she told the assembled dignitaries. I am something new, something that proves our differences can create strength, not weakness. Neva watched her daughter with pride. She no longer looked to the stars with longing. Earth was home now. Kate and Susan stood beside her, their hands intertwined. Did you ever imagine this would be your life? Kate asked, watching Maya charm a group of Vexari scientists. Neva smiled. I was sent here as something worthless. Now I have everything of value. A child, a family, a future. The Emperor approached them, his formal armor replaced with simpler attire for this visit. You have done well, daughter, he said. Not just with the child, with everything. Thank you, Father, Neva said. The Emperor looked at Kate and Susan, assessing them. I did not understand humans when I sent you here. He admitted I thought them weak because they value emotions. But I see now that there is strength in their way too. Maya ran to them, her eyes bright with excitement. Grandfather, she called. Did you bring me the star maps you promised? The Emperor produced a small crystal from his robes. This contains the locations of all Vexari colonies, he said. And something else. The coordinates of planets we believe might support hybrid settlements, places where our peoples might build something new together. Maya took the crystal, her small fingers cradling it carefully. This is the best gift, she said. I will study it tonight. Later that evening, after the celebrations had ended, Neva stood in the garden of their home. Maya slept inside, tired from the excitement. Kate and Susan joined her under the stars. She will change everything, Neva said, looking up at the night sky. Where I saw only exile, she will build bridges. Kate squeezed her hand. That's what children do. They take our broken pieces and build something we never imagined. Susan put an arm around both of them, and will be here to help her every step of the way. Above them, the stars shone down on a world forever changed by a princess once thought worthless and the child everyone had thought impossible. A new future was beginning, not just for them, but for two species who had once seen only differences and now through one small miracle could see possibilities.